Tears stream down my face as I write this, feeling utterly trapped and lost. At 30 years old and 31 weeks pregnant, I had always believed that motherhood was the natural progression after marriage. The pangs of baby fever had consumed me, leading me to think this was my true desire. How wrong I was. I never saw myself as maternal, preferring instead to be the cool aunt with a wonderful partner, exploring the world together. Life, however, had other plans, gifting me a devoted partner who deeply wanted children, and I allowed myself to be swept up in his dreams. Yet now, with a mere 9 weeks until the due date, the harsh realization crashes over me like a tidal wave. I do not want this life. My identity has been stripped away, reduced to nothing more than my pregnant state. Gone are the accolades and accomplishments that once defined me, replaced by incessant inquiries about the baby. Strangers invade my personal space with unwanted touches, while family and friends offer unsolicited advice that grates on my nerves. The constant questioning about breastfeeding leaves me feeling suffocated, gasping for air in this overwhelming new reality. Resentment towards my partner brews within me, slowly morphing into hatred. As I endure the trials and tribulations of pregnancy, he is met with congratulatory pats on the back, a stark contrast to my own experience. The baby name we chose, once a source of joy, now feels like a shackle around my neck, as monogrammed items from overeager parents cement its permanence. The looming reality of childbirth fills me with a terror that consumes my every waking moment. The options of a C-section or vaginal birth equally petrifying. My mind wanders to dark places, contemplating divorce, relinquishing my parental rights, and vanishing into thin air. My partner would undoubtedly be surrounded by love and support, while I grapple with the knowledge that I simply cannot face this new chapter. Fear and entrapment grip my heart as I struggle to find my footing in this unfamiliar landscape, yearning for an escape from the suffocating expectations that threaten to drown me. To preface, I am a 32-year-old male, 5 feet 11 inches, bald and heavyset. I have a shamble of a beard, a chipped tooth, and a near feminine voice. My self-esteem crashed and plummeted after my fiance left me for another man. I lost my job, my apartment, and had to move in with my folks. My friends have all gone off to live lives of their own with their families, and I am essentially isolated without anyone to talk to besides my folks, who complain about how retirement means financially squeaking by for the remainder of their days. Pair that with the weather, things have been grim to say the least. I have been working on trying to improve my weight and diet. I have been trying to socialize, but it feels like I am just chasing my own tail. Jobs are scarce, so as a teacher, I have had to fall back on being a substitute until things open up into spring. I do not discount my blessings, but the tragic spiral has made me doubt hope when I feel like I need it most. I feel and see myself as garbage most days. However, today while I was doing attendance, a girl who is quite obviously on the spectrum came up to me while I was writing student names and said, "You are pretty." I stopped, certain I misunderstood her, and said, "Sorry, what of that?" "You are pretty." There was no snide remark to follow, no giggling, nothing to indicate falsehood or deception. She stated it as clear fact. I was shocked for a few seconds. No one has ever mentioned my appearance positively before that was not a blood relative or a cheating ex. I simply responded, "Thank you for the compliment, I appreciate it." But I felt really warm having heard it and wanted to cry while smiling. But I distracted myself by reorientating the classroom for the day's lesson plan. To quote a man who, I feel like most days, it is just nice to win one. I know I might be breaking the rules, but this is a throwaway account, so I am very sorry. To everyone that commented and messaged on my original post, I just want to say thank you. I wrote that while crying alone in the bathroom at night, and all the people just writing the most positive things really helped me a lot. I know I did not comment on any of them, but I just want to say thank you so much. One of the first comments I saw was that I might have antenatal or prenatal depression. So the first thing I did this morning was call a psychiatrist. They booked me in for an emergency appointment because I disclosed I was pregnant and had thoughts of not wanting to be here anymore. Very grateful, and now I am on antidepressants, and they booked me a weekly visit with a therapist starting Monday and a check-in with a psychiatrist again in 2 weeks. They asked if I wanted to be taken into care for a while, but I said no for now. I did double check with my obstetrician if the medication is safe for me to take with the others I am on, and she said yes. But I did realize during my session that I did mention feeling depressed and lonely to her, and she just said it is normal. I want to move to another obstetrician, but I do not know if that is wise, seeing as I am almost at the end point, and she is one of the best in the city. My partner feels really guilty for not noticing something is wrong sooner. He found me on the bathroom floor, and he wants to go to couples counseling as well as soon as I feel up for it. This all happened so quickly, and my head is still spinning, but I am just so happy that someone saw me for me in the first time in months. Thank you again to everyone that commented. I really did read every single one.
Back in May 2025, something happened that completely messed up my mom, and honestly, it messed me up too. She's disabled, uses a wheelchair, needs dialysis, and she depends on me for almost everything. There was this chaotic situation at our apartment, a lot of yelling, a lot of confusion, people saying different things, and it all spiraled into something that still does not feel real to me. I am not even getting into who said what, but there were things said in front of me that did not match what was being said later. Watching everything back on video afterward just made my stomach drop. The part I cannot let go of is the moment an officer was talking to my mother about why I was being arrested. She was scared, confused, shaky, and she asked, "Who is going to take care of me?" I swear I felt something inside me break. I have never heard her sound like that. It was like she completely lost her sense of safety in that moment. She missed her dialysis appointment because of everything that happened and ended up in the emergency room days later. Afterward, her mental health just dropped. She was anxious all the time, crying, scared, second-guessing everything. I've tried to be strong for her, but I still replay that moment over and over. I am not naming anyone. I am not trying to start drama. I just needed to say this somewhere because keeping it inside is too heavy. Thanks for reading. I, a 16-year-old female, have been wetting the bed pretty much my whole life, and I cannot stop it at all. It is so embarrassing, and it has happened at friends' houses too. My bladder itself is very weak as it is, so I have also had to deal with accidents in public and in school. I have tried to not drink anything after 8 p.m. and wearing adult nappies, but they did not really help since it just leaks through anyway. I have begged my parents for years to try get me some medication or anything to help, and I was taken to the doctors about it in year 2, 6 to 7 years old, but they said it was normal and nothing to worry about. I have been trying to get an appointment with the incontinence team about it since June, but they have been no help at all. I have stopped going out with people, I've stopped staying at other people's houses, and I am terrified to even let my boyfriend stay in the same bed as me. Thankfully, my boyfriend already knows about this issue and is not judgmental or horrible about it all, but I feel bad because I know how annoying and disgusting it is to deal with. I am from the United Kingdom. Thank you for all the support and advice. I have already been tested for diabetes, since my mom and my granddad both have it, and I do not have it. I was using ketamine pretty heavily for a few months, but I have not used in around a month and do not intend on using again. My parents have been trying to help, but my family have been going through a lot for the past 10 years, especially my mom, who has supported me the most. I am also audic if that helps anything. I, a 28-year-old male, have flown dozens of times, but something about that morning flight broke me. Maybe the lack of sleep, maybe the stress, maybe nothing at all. Midway through takeoff, my chest tightened and I started shaking. I tried to hide it, but I guess I was not subtle. The woman next to me, maybe mid-40s, put her book down, gently touched my elbow, and asked, "Do you need someone to sit with you for a moment?" I do not know why, but I nodded. She held my hand, a complete stranger. No judgment, no weird questions, just a steady presence. When the plane leveled out, I apologized. She shook her head and said, "Everyone needs someone sometimes." We barely talked afterward. She went back to her book. When we landed, she told me to drink water and take it slow. Then she disappeared into the crowd. It has been 4 months and I still think about her. Not in a romantic way, just in a humanity way. I did not know a stranger could be the reason I did not completely fall apart that day. I was an only child until I was 12 years old. I knew I had an older brother, but he died when he was 3 and I was only a few months old.
I found out that I had two older siblings at my aunt's funeral. They had been adopted out. My older sister went to the funeral, and that's when I met her and found out about them. My mom was also pregnant at the time and eventually gave birth to my little sister. Fast forward to the age of 17 now, a few months ago, I found out that I had two other siblings only a few months older than me on my dad's side, living only a state away. I still have yet to meet them. I am honestly scared and don't know how to go about it. These past few years have been very overwhelming regarding my family. Still, I am very sad that I grew up alone during those years. I was very lonely. Everyone else had siblings except for me, only to find out that I had them all along. I wish I could have gone to know them sooner. Everything is so awkward now. I'm close with my older sister, but not my brother. He doesn't really want anything to do with my side of the family, and I don't blame him for that. It's hard for me to interact with my little sister. I haven't been around children much, so it's just awkward.
In a heartfelt and captivating tale, a daughter recounts her lifelong struggle for her father's love and approval. Born to Irish parents in England, she endured constant criticism and impossibly high standards from a man who denied his heritage and forced assimilation. Despite her relentless efforts, graduating top of her class, gaining admission to prestigious universities, and even converting to Catholicism, nothing could earn his praise or affection. His disdain for her choices and heritage only grew over the years, culminating in a dramatic confrontation at her parents' ruby wedding anniversary. Disgusted by his drunken insults, she left the celebration and cut off contact entirely. The turning point came when her mother visited recently and acknowledged the emotional burden she had carried for decades. In a series of poignant confessions, her mother validated her pain, condemned her father's behavior, and assured her she was loved unconditionally. The story concludes on a hopeful note, with the daughter feeling a sense of freedom and self-acceptance. She is no longer defined by her father's expectations, only her own. My parents divorced when I was 11. It wasn't explosive, but it wasn't friendly either. They barely spoke beyond logistics. My mom passed away suddenly last year, and my dad didn't attend the funeral. He sent flowers and a short message. I thought he was just done with that chapter. 2 weeks ago, I stopped by her grave after work. I don't go often because it still feels unreal. When I walked up, I saw fresh flowers. Wildflowers, not store-bought. No card. Didn't think much of it. The next week, same thing. This time I actually saw someone walking away. It was my dad. He looked so different, kind of small, like he was carrying something heavy he never put down. I didn't call out to him. I don't know why. I just watched him walk back to his car. When I asked him about it yesterday, he froze. Then he said, "Your mother was the best thing that ever happened to me. I ruined it." I don't get to say that out loud, so I say it there. I don't know why this broke me. I feel like I'm grieving a whole new version of my parents' relationship I never knew existed. I am a 33-year-old female, and I do not know how to explain this without sounding ridiculous, but I cried in a bathroom stall at work today because my manager told me, "No rush, take your time." That is it. That is all he said. But I have spent my entire life in survival mode. Growing up, everything was urgent. Everything was yelling. Everything was, "Why aren't you doing more?" My nervous system has been permanently stuck in go, go, go for decades. So today, when I accidentally messed up a spreadsheet and apologized like 5 times in 30 seconds, he just smiled and said, "It is okay. Take your time." My whole body shut down. My brain did not know how to process kindness, or patience, or safety. It just cracked. I locked myself in the bathroom and cried silently because apparently my body still thinks compassion is some kind of trap. It is insane how unfamiliar gentleness feels. I thought I had grown past my childhood. Turns out, parts of me never left.
Sigh.
Maybe I should have used better words or phrases, but that is really what it is. Hookup culture, and it is crap. I'm just ranting, so here we go. I am a 23-year-old female. I do have a kid, just for context there. Not that it matters too much, but maybe it does. Now, I am not looking for a relationship or anything very serious. It seems no one is my age, and I would like to think I am fairly attractive, I guess. Why is it so hard to find intimacy? I want guys to stop messaging me just to hook up. I am more than a pretty face, and I feel like no one really just tries to get to know me. They just want to have sex with me. Online dating, real life, I cannot escape it. I am not saying I'm some bombshell or anything. I'm not trying to say that at all. Maybe it's not hookup culture, and I just want people to see more of me. It is not even the way I represent myself. You cannot look at me and say, yeah, she's going. I even put in my bios, I do not want to hook up, and I swear it makes it worse. I just wanted and needed to get it out. Sorry if it does not make sense. It is 6 in the morning and I'm tired.